tell you, this is a great group of smart people here. I'm very blessed to have two of these people I've known very long, very good friends, and a new friend I'm just getting to know. Can't wait to get to know him better. So we're going to start with Brian. If you're on page 12-0, which is the opposite of 12-1, sure, make yourself comfortable, then you will find the bios, and you can see a little bit more about each one of these guys and learn who they are and what they do and why they're so amazing. So Brian, lead us off. You're up.
All right. So I'm going to talk to you about the 4 R's: reviews, repeat, referral, and relationship. Do these right, you lower your lead costs, you get much more opportunity, and you make more money. And you build a business that's a little bit more stable over the years, which is important right now. So times are pretty damn good right now for the home improvement industry, aside from the fact that it's difficult to get stuff installed. But selling stuff and getting leads seems to be pretty good. What tends to happen, though, in times like this is that we're so busy focused on making sales that we tend to focus on, well, where are we going 6 months from now, a year from now? Too many contractors are doing more and more business, and yet they're leaving some opportunity behind. What's even worse than this is that they think that this is going to go on indefinitely. And by the way, this is not doom and gloom talk. This is opportunity talk. This is not sustainable. It can't go on forever. We know that. And it's a very bad mistake to think that it will, right? So when today's environment normalizes, will you be stronger than ever? Will your business come out of this stronger? So it's all about focusing on the fundamentals. What is these 3 days about is really all about the fundamentals of this business. And one of the fundamentals of this business, I believe, at least my clients believe, is the ability to develop profitable customer relationships. Not just get the transaction, but how do you develop a relationship with a customer over time? Right? And this is where a lot of companies really don't do a good job. And the home improvement business is getting better. When we first started to do this 12 years ago, we were a completely like one and done industry. It was either where, you have the one and done companies or you have the companies that lived on referrals. There was really not much in between. But today we know, I think most of the smart business owners know, that we've got to do the customer relationship part right, because the one and done thing works for a little while, but it also leaves you vulnerable. It leaves you vulnerable, and it leaves a lot of opportunity and a lot of future profits on the table, right? And so I know that this is going to be really hard to read, so I'm just going to go through them real quick. So what are some of the things to focus on when it comes to building customer relationships? The number one thing is the customer experience, delivering an amazing customer experience. Now, again, before reviews came in 12 years ago, 20 years ago, 25 years ago, we could do bad jobs for people, and they would go tell a few people, and we might lose a few sales. Not so much today, right? Today, you do a bad job for somebody, they could tell the entire world. And that will cost you money. It'll cost you leads and it'll cost you sales, right? So to me, today, if you're striving to create a satisfied customer, you're not doing enough. To me, a satisfied customer is a liability. What you really want to create are raving fans. So how do you create raving fans? You design an amazing customer experience and you execute on it. There was a little talk yesterday about culture from Brian, one of the people that does it the best, wherever he is, Gottlieb, It starts with you, the owner, making a decision that we are going to create raving fans, and so we're going to design an experience that produces raving fans. At the end of the job, is a raving fan more likely or less likely to leave you a 5-star review? More, right? Are they more likely or less likely to make a referral? More, right? Makes sense. I can't even read that. Customers want to leave you, okay. So having a formal referral program. So one of the challenges that we see, because this is where we do most of our work, is that yes, you may say, yes, I have a referral program, and then we'll ask you a few more questions, and we find out that the referral program lasts only a couple of days. What do I mean by that? Well, we give X amount of dollars for every referral that comes in. Great. How do you tell people about it? Well, we've got this brochure, and we tell them during the install or during the sales presentation. Great. Then what? What do you mean, then what? What about a week later? What about a month later? What about 6 months later? What are you doing? And so one of the things that we know in working with companies to help develop referrals and referability is you got to constantly be reminding people of who you are, the solutions you provide, and how the hell to get a hold of you. And you want to tell them that you're referable and what you do to encourage referrals. And then finally, one of the biggest mistakes that we make as business owners is that we do not do a good job of staying in touch with our customers. Now, a lot of you will say, well, but my customers bought a roof. They never need me again. Well, I'll show you 10 of my clients that will tell you that is entirely untrue, right? Each customer can be worth 1 more, 2 more, 3 more customers, whether that's through referral, through radius marketing, which Andrew's going to talk about. Right? There is opportunity there. And the idea is that you want to stay in touch and stay in touch, especially for those. How many of you sell multiple products, not just one? I'm going to see a lot of hands go up, right? I mean, if you're not staying in touch with your customer like on an ongoing basis, all you're doing is you're leaving your customers open and susceptible to the competition, right? Including some of the people that are in this room. There are some very smart people in this room doing some very smart marketing. Who are they going after? They're going after your customers. So for me as a business owner, we've got to protect and defend our customers against the competition. To me, it's like we want to put an iron fence around them. You want to protect and defend your customers. How do you do this? You do this through effective communication. Stay in touch with them. Stay in touch. Take a little piece of your marketing budget and put it towards communications with your past customers. I say it all the time. You do this right, and it's like having an insurance policy, right? It's you're protecting what is yours, what you've worked hard to build. Is it easy to make leads or is it tough to make leads, right? So why would we just let them go at the end? Continue to develop them because they're worth more than just that first sale. And we look at this, so we've got a thing at G4 where we go through what we call the 4 pillars of relationship marketing. If you want to talk to us about it, we're happy to do it. But my point here is that we take a holistic approach to this. We look at appreciation, we look at reviews, we look at referrals, and we look at repeat business as one whole process, one whole system. Just like we have front-end lead generation systems, I believe we have to have back-end, post-install marketing systems as well. And the most important thing there is to keep that communication with your customers ongoing. So with that, okay, this is great. Is Dave in the room?
No, he's not.
Oh, he's not. Can you guys see that picture? So we've been coming here. I love Dave Yoho. And for 10 years, we've been coming here as sponsors. And I mean, how incredible is Dave Yoho? 90-some years old. He's still here, and he's still delivering energy. Anyway, for years, he told me, oh, I don't eat cookies. I don't eat cookies. So yesterday, we caught him, literally, with his hands in the cookie jar. And I love it. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to bring up another gentleman here, Mark Highbaugh. And Mark's got some great content to share with you today that just coincides with everything you just heard. And again, look for those nuggets, look for those ideas that you can take back to your market and implement. Take it away, Mark.
Thanks, Joe. I totally agree with Brian when he says it's all about the relationship. It's all about the customer. And some of you all may say, this has nothing to do with profitability. Well, you know, it's not about the product. It's not about your systems. It's about the customer, because they're the ones paying for the product to begin with. So you've got to make a raving fan, as you say it, out of your customers from the very get-go. It takes systematic consistency to do that. So what I want you to see here is, in these pictures, I hope these are your customers, because these customers are happy with what they're seeing. They have a process that they're seeing the messages on. They're seeing something that's making them happy about the message they're seeing. You want this type of customer, not this type of customer. And unfortunately, I hear too many stories of companies saying, well, yeah, we communicate with our customers. We send them emails, and the same thing, we send them by text. And then we follow up a phone call. And if they don't answer the phone call, we call them again. And if they don't answer the phone call, we call them again. As a matter of fact, I heard of a sales trainer once say from the stage, you have to call a lead 6 times in a day to really get a hold of them before giving up. I don't know about you guys, but I'm blocking that number after the second phone call. How about you? So you've got to look at the statistics. Statistically speaking, people aren't listening to their voicemails. People aren't even reading their emails. Everybody is watching their text messages. Everybody. Raise your hand right now if you have an unanswered text message. I see 3, 4 hands. Raise your hand now if you have an unanswered email. Look around, guys. They're potentially the same attitude as your customers. So we have to use text messaging. However, in doing that, we want to solidify your company's identity in doing this. The first and most important piece is, let's take your callback landline number. Let's take your office number. Let's text from that. We're able to do that these days. Now companies can brand themselves by sending a message from the same number that the lead can text back on. Also, make it visual. Send pictures and logos away with it, along with it. There's no other way to solidify your company and that identity than being able to send it with a picture of your logo or a picture of some product that you have. Additionally, there's things like being personal. Address the consumer by name. And there's lots of automation that can take place also. And that pre-scripted message that has your consistency with it, and automation is important. But let me tell you, a lot of people say to me, well, you know, we don't want the automation because that takes away the personalization of it.